everyone, welcome back to Movie Studio, and today I'm here with a brand new video for you guys. We are going to be talking about WandaVision Season 1, Episode 6. And I'm here with my dad, Paul, to say thanks for joining. Okay, so, first of all, we have these dice right here, which are pretty cool. This is the Halloween episode, and this is the title of the episode. I am looking for it right now.
Spooktacular.
I think it's like a Spooktacular or something like that. I'll find it later. But this is the Halloween episode, and they announced this a few months back that was gonna be a WandaVision Halloween episode, and this takes place in the 90s, correct?
Yes. Each episode takes place in a different decade. So started in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and this is episode 6, and it's in the 90s. There was one episode where there wasn't a sitcom.
Yeah, the episode 4, which was the one that was focusing more on the story program.
Yes.
So this is the 90s, and Pedro is here and is bonding with the kids. So like, their powers are like more like, they're taking Pedro's powers on. It seems like.
Well, one of them is turning into Speed. And that is a superhero from the comics, and they taking Petro's, like you said, superpowers. The other one's Wiccan, and that is taking superpowers from Wanda.
Yeah. So, do you prefer this actor over the other one?
Well, yeah, I do. I like this actor better. I think he's funnier than the one who was in the Avengers movie, the one who died. I'm still very curious of what's going on with all of this. So it would be exciting to see where they take this. But I really like this actor. He's funny. But there's something off. He doesn't seem to be the one that is her brother. At least it appears that there's something off.
Well, because then Wanda pushed it with her force. So.
Yes.
There's a lot of conversation online about which actor's better.
Oh, okay.
I've just seen that on Twitter and stuff.
Which one do you like?
I mean, I like this one too.
Yeah.
He's funny. But then again, like there has to be some sort of mystery. Something has to be off, because the end of the last episode was kind of weird. I thought, like just the way that he came in, and just the way Wanda was like reacting.
Yeah, because Wanda didn't control this. This is something that's happening outside of her control.
Wanda and Vision still have some tension though.
Absolutely, they do.
Which is kind of understandable that Vision would be skeptical of Wanda because of what she's doing,
So Vision is exploring. He is on Halloween night. He makes up a story that says he's on patrol in the neighborhood, which he's not. And he's exploring. He's going farther out to the boundaries, and he realizes there is some sort of boundary. And the closer he gets to the boundary, the weirder people are acting. They seem to be less active. They're more stationary. Some of them are just kind of standing completely still. And Agnes is kind of in a car, and she's close to the border, and she's kind of like zoned out, right?
Well, so far, Agnes has been kind of acting weird throughout the course of what we've seen her. Like, it's just like she's not... It'll be interesting because it's something there's something with her character that's interesting. Like, she's involved in something, She's been trapped into something, it seems like. It'll be interesting to see what that is. Do you have any theories?
Well, there is a character in the comics called Agatha, and I think we talked about her. She's an older witch, and she's kind of like a mentor to Wanda. So we'll be seeing if this has the same character, Agatha, Agnes. But obviously, the closer you get to the border of the hex, the more you zone out and almost become motionless and mindless. And Agnes is near the border, and that's when Vision comes up to her, and she's in the car, but she's zoned out. And so at that point, he knows something is goofy. And so he goes to explore and finds the edge of the hex, force field kind of thing.
And my little fake romance side note for this podcast is that maybe Agnes was acting weirder on Vision because she liked him.
Oh, interesting, Micah.
So I just decided I would bring that up for fun. Okay. But we find out that Hayward, which is the director of Sword, is tracking Vision. So that's kind of like a twist when it comes to the Sword program. And like there's like a fight. Hayward is fighting against Darcy, Monica, and I don't remember the guy's name.
Jimmy, maybe?
Jimmy.
Yeah.
And he's fighting with them. So like he's like an interesting character. I think that there's obviously something skeptical about him and how Monica is upset because she thinks he's being too harsh about the Wanda situation because of course Monica wants to give Wanda, she knows what's up with Wanda, but she wants to give Wanda like a little bit of flexibility, considering she doesn't want her to be like dead or anything,
Right. And I think that Hayward is the bad guy in some sense. He's the villain here, and he wants Vision. Obviously, at least the video footage from episode 4 showed Wanda coming into the Sword facilities and busting out Vision. They were doing some sort of procedure on the dead body of Vision. So Wanda learned about that, went and stole the body. So what were they doing to Vision's body that made Wanda come and take the body of Vision? Why does Hayward want the body back? Now, I read one rumor online that Hayward is actually Ultron in disguise. Now, I, of course, have no idea if that's true, and Ultron being the bad guy, villain in this, but that's just a rumor. But obviously, Hayward has some part to play in this beyond just being the Sword acting director.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Darcy is like sunk into the hex. So maybe next episode we'll see more of her because I think she's still an interesting character. Would you agree?
Yeah, so I like Darcy. I think she's awesome. She's funny, quirky, but at the end of the episode, the hex is expanding. The hex expands. Vision, who it went through it, was disintegrating. The hex expands. It looks like it saves Vision, right? But because Darcy is handcuffed to a truck and the hex expands, it looks like Darcy is sucked into the hex, and the others are driving in a car, escaping, right? Monica says she's wanting to meet with somebody that she has a connection with, and they're on a rendezvous. So, rumor is, so I read a rumor this week that it's actually Mr. Fantastic, Jim from The Office, playing Mr. Fantastic, which would be really cool. But again, these are all rumors, speculations of who this official is or partner or whatever that Monica wants to meet with. So their car's driving away. Darcy's getting sucked into the hex. And so that's, of course, going to transform Darcy. We learned in this episode, maybe one of the big reveals is every time you go through the hex, it changes your DNA. So Monica's been through it twice, and so that's changed her DNA twice. Some rumors, which I think this is the big reveal of the whole episode really, is that maybe the hex is the forming force or mutating force of that we get mutants or the X-Men. And so could it be that Wanda's hex is actually creating mutants, which would be freaking amazing. So, that would be the formation of the X-Men.
Mm-hmm. So we kind of end off, and the cliffhanger was, I thought, just a little bit disappointing because in often such a what is happening note, and I think we're just going to, of course, wait until actually only a few days away now to see what's happening. But is Wanda really controlling everything? That's the big question now. This episode, I think, is now taking it another step. It seems like in that question, and especially her opening her eye, and her pushing Petra away. I think it's just interesting to see how much of it is she really controlling, and it's just adding to that mystery question,
Yeah, so she's controlling something. She's expanding the hex, but there is something else going on. So I think there's two things happening. Wanda is super powerful, and she is doing something. That hex is expanding, but there's some other force. There's a villain. There's something that's working to influence her. So we will see what that is. But the cliffhanger was pretty awesome. The hex is expanding, sucking everybody in. So that means everybody that gets sucked in is going to change.
Yeah.
Could be transformed.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Does they end up? Does like Darcy in the next episode, the 2000s sitcom, is she going to be a character in that? Who knows? Wait and see.
Yeah. So we're actually just talking about this. We're not sure if this is. There's only 3 episodes left now, and there is a rumor that there is going to be a 10th mystery episode, which will take place on March 12th, and that'll be a week before Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I thought it was a little bit weird how they had like a break because they talked about just doing all the way through. So maybe there is going to be a 10th mystery episode that like literally like comes out of nowhere, just pops up on Disney Plus, Friday morning. I mean, we don't know.
So the deal was there was a casting sheet. Somebody was cast and they were listed to be in the 10th episode. Now, that could have been a mistake.
Or a prank.
Or there's a 10th episode and maybe they wait to the very end to announce it. Or the 10th episode is a recap show or, who knows? It's hard to say. Or behind the scenes, just no. Yeah. But this show is awesome. I love WandaVision. I can't wait for next week, a couple days from now, to see what happens next. How about you? What grade did you give it?
I thought I'd give it an A. Really good.
Well, yeah, every episode we're giving an A.
Yeah, well,
that's
it's not getting any worse, of course. So it's getting better.
No, the mystery is expanding, like the hex is expanding.
I will say that it's getting less cringy, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's becoming more Marvel-ish, less sitcom-ish.
Yes. So, anyways, we are really excited to talk about episode 7. I thought that I did like the attention that they put to the Halloween costumes too, although I don't know. I thought they did a really good job. Although Wanda's costume was a little bit underwhelming. I thought she would get something better, I thought.
Well, that was kind of a comics callback of one of her outfits as the Scarlet Witch. Yeah. And by the way, I heard that, saw something online this morning, that Vision's outfit, his shirt in his costume, is now available for sale, which is kind of cool. I'd like to get that. I think that would be pretty kind of retro-ish 90s t-shirt. So you never know. I might be wearing a Vision shirt one day.
Eventually. I mean, maybe. But maybe not because you might not get it until after we recap the season 1 finale, and then there might not be any more.
Who knows? That's right. We were talking earlier about second season. I don't know. Is this the type of show where there's multiple seasons, or is this just one story? And then next time it's Wanda, or next show it's a story about Vision. There's no way. Or
maybe like a spin-off show with like Darcy, Monica, and Jimmy.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and then Monica in the comics becomes a superhero called Photon. So maybe she has her own show. It's hard to say.
Yeah. So that's kind of all I had to say. Really good episode. We love the show. So anyways, I want to thank everyone for watching the studio. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications to miss a video. Thanks for watching, and bye.